Yo, what's up, sports bettors? I got 8 player prop bets. We're going to be looking at PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy, No House Advantage, a ton of different platforms, hunting for value, NBA, NHL bets for tomorrow, little playoff parlays. So anyways, my first pick to get into it is from the sportsbook screen. So sportsbook screen. I'm currently looking at NBA player points plus assists. And basically, the way you use this tool is as a sharp bettor, you always want to look for value in the market. So if you look at Aaron Gordon, for example, parlay play, prize picks, all the sports books have his line at 16.5 points plus assists, which is the market I'm looking at. There's no value. We don't want to touch it. But if you go and you look at Booker, what you're going to notice for Booker is, hey, prize picks has Booker's line at 39.5 points plus assists. You look at Underdog Fantasy, they have his line at 40.5 points plus assists. So long story short, you look throughout the market, every data point, every sports book, every other fantasy site, except Underdog, has Booker's line at 39.5, right? You're going to see some books, such as FanDuel. FanDuel has Booker's under 39.5 favored. So every data point's at 39.5. Some books have the under a little favored, some the over a little favored. Underdog, they're at 40.5. They're too high. Their line's too high, right? This is why sharp sports betting is so exciting to me, why I love it, and also why you can make money sports betting is all these books, they all set lines independently. So, as a sharp bettor, we just hunt through the market. We look for value. We look for inefficiencies. For Aaron Gordon, all the books have his line at 16.5 points plus assists. There's no value. All books have his line at 16.5. There's no value here. But you look at Booker, Underdog's a clear discrepancy. We literally have dozens of data points. All these books posting odds have Booker's line at 39.5, Underdog's at 40.5. So this is a sharp bet that we can go with, right? And again, Underdog Fantasy, it's a fixed payout platform, right? Any 3 picks you select, I apologize, you're getting a 6x payout. So here are the 3 plays I'm going to go with. I haven't even locked it in yet, but I have Maxey under 6.5 rebounds plus assists, Booker under 40.5 points plus assists, Gourdet under 2 shots on goal. So I'm not going to go through every pick. They were all found on the screen. But again, the purpose of these videos looks like this one. Just lost. I mean, 2 for 3 here, but whatever is what it is. Here's my next pick for tomorrow. 3 picks on Underdog Fantasy, and then we'll get into the next platform. So just like PrizePicks, just like Underdog Fantasy, a kind of new platform, it's another fixed payout platform, is called No House Advantage. So you're going to see, if we're playing around with No House Advantage, this is your payout. 2.6x payout if you go 4 for 5, and if you go 5 for 5, you get a 12x payout. So this is 5-pick entry. Here are your payouts, right? They don't change your payouts based on you selecting overs versus unders. Doesn't matter if we switch this to an under, your payout doesn't change. Doesn't matter if we switch this to a different game. Take a look, your payout doesn't change, right? So long story short, well, no, this is a 4-pick entry. So if I had in a 5th pick, there we go. So if I had in a 5th pick, you're going to see here, what a surprise, our payout doesn't change, right? Your 5-pick entries always have the same payout. So long story short, if you kind of back out the win probability, you need to be profitable. On this platform, it's called No House Advantage. What you're going to notice is you got to win 53.227% of your picks to break even, right? So what this means is basically the way these fixed platforms, they make money, right? It's not like I go to PrizePicks and I want to place this bet. It's not like they're charging me a fee. It's not like I go to PrizePicks, I want to place a bet and they're like, yo, you owe us $5, right? On No House Advantage, it's not like, they're charging me a fee. The way these sports books make money, the way these fixed price fantasy platforms make money is they know most sports bettors don't have an advantage, right? So if you don't have an advantage, right, this game's always like the Mets game tomorrow versus the Rockies. This game's always going to go over or under half of a run in the first inning. There's going to be a run or there's not going to be a run, right? So long story short, this is a platform that if you have no advantage, you're only going to be able to win 50% of your picks. But to be profitable on No House Advantage, I'll include this spreadsheet in the description. To be profitable, you have to win 53.22% of your picks to be profitable, right? So kind of stumbling over my words here, but long story short, if you can win 55% of your player props, so if you can hit, 55% of your over-unders, if you can get these correctly, these over-unders correctly, 55% of the time, your ROI would be positive, 13.925%. You're going to make money on no house advantage long term. If you can only win 51% of your player props, or 50, I apologize, 51, whatever, you're going to lose money. So this is called your break-even win rate. You need to win. Like, this is all there is to it. If you want to make money on this platform, no house advantage, a platform I've been able to find a lot of sharp bets on, you got to win 53.22% of your player props. So the tool I typically start out using to find player props that are winning over 53.22% of the time is right here. It's called the OddsJam Positive EV Positive Expected Value Betting Tool. And basically, all this tool shows you is player props that are winning over 53.22% of the time. So the first bet, the bet in bold and in green, is Durant under 8.5 rebounds. Right? So why is this play so good? Why is this play winning over 53.22% of the time? And what you're going to notice is all the sports books, literally every sports book, Pinnacle, sharpest sports book in the world, Bovada, Bet Online, Bet US, all of these books, right? They're all data points. And what you're going to notice is every single data point, they all have Durant's under heavily favored. So unless you think you're smarter than the sports books, their models, these books have invested hundreds of millions of dollars in their ability to set lines, right? You're not beating sportsbooks. You're not going to get a win rate above 53.22% on no house advantage, trusting your gut. It's just not going to work, right? 99% of sports bettors, they bet with their gut, and that's why the books are in business. That's why PrizePicks and no house advantage are in business. They can have all these nice bets for us to play, is because most sports bettors have no advantage and they're clueless, and they can only win 50% of their player props. But what you want to do as a data-driven sports bettor is let OddsJam scan, right? Like all these lines, golf lines. OddsJam is reading in thousands of lines, all these lines on PrizePicks, no house advantage, and showing you the profitable bets. So you're going to see here Durant's under, right? It's heavily favored on every sports book. So we know his under is more likely than his over. We know his under is winning over 53.22% of the time. So this is a profitable bet to go with on no house advantage. Nothing complicated here. I'm just following the data. All the sportsbooks have Durant's under juiced around minus 145 odds. Pinnacle, which is known to be the sharpest sportsbook in the world, right here, they have his under at minus 166. So all the books have Durant's under heavily favored. No house advantage, we know this is a platform where they're not changing your payout based on you selecting overs or unders. Your payout never changes. You could change this to all unders. Your payout's the same. So you just want to find spots where sportsbooks have an under or an over, right? Or an over, heavily favored. In this case, Durant under 8.5 rebounds, incredibly sharp bet to go with on no house advantage. So then you can see, let's just get into my next pick, Celtics 76ers. We just had a prop bet for Nuggets Suns. What's more fun than profitable bets on the NBA playoffs? Nothing. But you look at Celtics 76ers, look at Jaylen Brown. Slightly lower profit margin, right? Like, that's not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant to do either. But anyways, Jaylen Brown under 2.5 made threes. All the books have his under heavily favored. So this is a great player prop to go with, again, on no house advantage. They're not changing your payout based on you selecting overs versus unders. So the simple strategy for beating these fixed payout platforms like no house advantage and PrizePicks and Underdog Fantasy, right, is find spots where books have an under heavily favored or an over. In this case, it's Jaylen Brown's under. So when we're playing on NHA, right, we just want to find all these picks in green and in bold. That's basically how you make money. All these picks on the Positive EV Tool, they're all winning over 53.22% of the time. Does that mean all your bets are going to win? No, right? That doesn't mean all your bets are going to win. So if I go to, whatever, like you're going to see, I'll have winning streaks, I'll have losing streaks. I don't claim I win every bet. I would never claim that. But because all my picks are based in math, all my picks have a mathematical edge, such as Jaylen Brown under 2.5 made threes, we're going to make money long term, right? So the final tool I use to find value on no house advantage, as well as PrizePicks, it works for PrizePicks, Underdog, all these different fantasy sites. So I recommend signing up for them all, right? If you want to make money sports betting, like this play on Jaylen Brown, for example, it's not on PrizePicks. This play isn't available on PrizePicks. It's also not on Underdog Fantasy, right? So if you only use PrizePicks, you're missing out on a really profitable bet. Any sharp sports bettor, any professional sports bettor, anyone who makes money sports betting will have more than one sportsbook account. And again, that's because all these books set lines independently. You never know where the value is going to be on a given day. Here you can see there's profitable bets on Fliff, Underdog Fantasy, whatever. So you never know which book is going to screw up and have value on a given day. Sometimes there's a ton of bets on PrizePicks. Sometimes No House Advantage is screwing up big, and there's a ton of bets on NHA. But long story short, so we know on NHA we got to win 53.22% of our picks to be profitable. So you're going to see a lot of overlap on this EV tool. So there we go, opened it back up. But you're going to see a lot of overlap with this EV tool. But what this, fantasy screen does is it actually quantifies what is the probability your bet wins. So on No House Advantage, any pick winning over 53.22% of the time, I'm literally just reverse engineering their payouts. Any pick on NHA winning over 53.22% of the time is going to be profitable, right? We know that. That's a fact. So what this tool does, this fantasy optimizer tool right here, is all this tool does is it tells you all the plays winning above 53.22% of the time. So Durant's under is super heavily favored on all the sports books, is under 8.5 rebounds, right? So I can zoom in here. Same with Jaylen Brown. So both of these plays were on the Positive EV tool, as you can see right here, right? They're both on the Positive EV tool. So these are both great plays to go with, because they're both winning over 53.22% of the time. And the fantasy optimizer just quantifies the exact win probability, right? So the more juice towards the under, the better, right? Like if sportsbooks had, Kevin Durant's under at minus 200 means a 2-to-1 betting favorite, right? Minus 200 means your bet is 2-to-1 to win, 66.67% to win. That's what minus 200 means. So Durant's under, it's at an average line with the vig removed of minus 123. So this is a player prop, right? We know, or Jaylen Brown, we can look at as an example. We know Brown's under is the favorite outcome. So we know his under is going to be over 50% to win. Like Brown, he's always going over 2.5 or under 2.5. So all the sports books, all these data points, all these sports books are telling you, Brown's under is more likely, right? That's what all these books are telling you. So we know Brown's under is over 50% to win. We know his over is less than 50% to win because sportsbooks are telling you his under's favored. He's always going over or under. So because his under's favored, we know his under's winning over 50% of the time. But you got to make sure on NHA it's winning at least 53.22% of the time. And that's what this fantasy screen shows you, is all these picks right here in green are winning over 53.22% of the time. So they're all profitable bets to go with on No House Advantage. Durant under 8.5 rebounds. Brown under 2.5 threes. Smart over 1.5 threes. So we go to Marcus Smart. Where was that play? So you can see it right here. And what you're going to notice is for Smart, all the books have his over heavily favored. So he's more likely to go over 1.5 threes as opposed to under. The fantasy screen just quantifies the exact win probability. And again, you can use this tool for PrizePicks, Underdog, whatever, right? You can see there's different plays on PrizePicks. PrizePicks has a profitable bet on Derek White. Not available on No House Advantage. So if you only have PrizePicks or you only have No House Advantage, you're missing out on profitable bets. But long story short, my 6 picks are Harden over 5.5 rebounds, Smart over 1.5 made threes. Always, as always, I'm just following the data, right? Smart over 1.5 threes, Brown under 2.5 threes, Durant under 8.5 rebounds, Caldwell Pope under 1.5 made threes as well. So 5 picks to turn 500 into $6,000. Pretty cool stuff. Got some plays on Underdog, No House Advantage in this video. Lots of value out there. Sportsbooks posting odds for tomorrow on Sunday, May 7th. So let's make some money, guys.